So, Geriatric Conway decided he wanted to put out another hot take on what teenage boys and little boys consume with the scene of manga and anime as it stands. He calls the people who consume this stuff incels and stuff like that, but then when somebody checks him on that, he goes, "Oh, well, I was just calling out abuse." What abuse? What abuse? Where's the abuse, Jerry? Point to me on this map here where the abuse is. I don't see no abuse. Nonetheless, Jerry took to Twitter to have a hot take on something he shouldn't have had a hot take on in the first place. On Bounding into Comics, and I'm going to link this article in the description as well. Basically, the whole thing comes down to this tweet that Jerry put out earlier in May, circa current year, where he says something to the extent of, American comic book artists are taken deservedly to task regularly for outrageously sexist treatment of women. No, they're not. And if they are, it's all done in the books that nobody buys. But rarely do I see any commentary on the rampant sexism and misogyny of manga. And manga is incredibly popular with younger readers. Yes, it is. So if you're trying to get the younger readers' attention, maybe look to what Japan is doing and try to not so much copy that word for word, but learn from it. Understand what makes that stuff good and what makes your stuff not good in the eyes of the young readers. You know, instead of stepping in and going, "Hey, I don't like this, so I'm going to change it." No, you're not going to change the minds of the consumer. That's not how that works. What you do is you understand what the consumer likes, get feedback from them, and then go, okay, so something like this. And they go, yeah, I like this. It's built up a lot of different fandoms out there. Like you got Star Wars because people like what George Lucas puts out. You got Lord of the Rings because people like what Tolkien puts out. You got Dragon Ball because people like what Toriyama put out. Like it's not up for the decision of the artist or the writer what the fans do and do not like. The best you can do is put your idea out there and hope it lands. That's it. But he continues, given the number of angry replies from manga fans to my post suggesting some manga artists pederastic and misogynistic, I can only assume there are lots of incel shit. Yeah, that's how you draw the that's how you yeah, that's how you draw the people back in. Your name call. Exactly. That's how you do it. You're gonna draw them back in with balled up fists, maybe some pitchforks. I can only assume there are lots of incels who beat off the drawings of oversexed preteen girls. Just say hentai. It saves you a lot of space on your tweets. But nonetheless, that's how the internet works. It's not something that everybody has to be okay with, but it's something that everyone has to accept. I can't go to my neighbor's house and say, hey, because you guys don't have any video games in your house, you're terrible people. I can't do that. If they don't want to play video games, they're not going to play video games. The same thing goes here, right? So Jerry's taking a task, rightfully so. And he decides to double down and backstep at the same time, which is not really unheard of. It's definitely doable if you're a raging SJW. Let's call it what it is. But he says something to the extent of, the irony is, I do read some manga myself, hypocrite. Just not the near hentai and actual hentai stuff. You should. Maybe you'll learn something. I'm not dissing the art form. Hell, I have the slipcase edition of Akira in translation, and I used to subscribe to Shonen Jump in the 1980s. So you understand the market and decide to go, no, it's wrong. Excuse me? Just calling out abuse. Abuse. You stepped into this bitch and decided to point every single person out who likes manga and anime and hentai or whatever and go, all of you are degenerates. You're all terrible people. And this is precisely why you're incels. Like, Jerry, what? Jerry, what? Do you understand what you're saying in this final tweet that you put out? So just to get a better grasp on this man's logic here, he doesn't like that boys are consuming manga and anime over Western comic where all of the women are drawn like end tables and wicker chairs. So he's going to criticize them for liking what they like. And then when those same people who don't like to be criticized for enjoying what they enjoy, they go, hey, shut up. And you go, no, I'm one of you. It's fine. Jerry, no, that's not how that works. You don't step into a fan space and go, I'm going to change it. This is something that's been proven over and over and over and over and over again. It does not work out. It's not so much that it's inevitable, just that there is a way to do it. You're not going to, as Just Some Guy would put it, insult your way to box office success. That's applying to books. That's applying to TV shows. That's applying to video games. That's applying to all forms of media where there is a fan space for it. You're not going to step in and try to rework what someone else created for their fans. You're not going to step into a fan space and go, hey, I made something like this, but I don't like it anymore, so I'm going to change it because I don't like you guys. No, look, nobody's saying that you can't change. Nobody's saying that you can't have a stance. It's just, if you know you're stepping into the den with the degenerates, you're going to have to work with the degenerates in order to get the degenerate money. If you knew it was going to be this bad, why'd you step into it in the first place? The whole notion is you don't step into something as a fan, as a creator, as an editor, as an artist, like whatever. You don't step into the fan space and go, hey, I don't like what you guys like, so I'm going to switch it up. No. That's why it's not selling. That's why Demon Slayer outsold the entire Western comic book industry. Hell, I'll make another reference to Just Some Guy, where he did a video that outlined the top selling manga. And the top selling manga is Demon Slayer, which outsold all of its competition in totality. In totality. It's crazy. It's crazy, but people enjoy good content. Put out good stories, maybe people will like it. Put out good art, maybe people will like it. Put out good concepts, maybe people will like it. But simply criticizing people who enjoy what they enjoy, yeah, no, that's not how you win them over. I don't know what this crazy obsession is that's been happening in the recent decade or longer, where people want to step in, I'll call them spineless people, want to step in and try to change what wasn't theirs to change in the first place. My thing is, if you took this stance way back when you co-created Power Girl and Vixen and these other sexy women, yeah, nobody would be upset with you. I mean, people would be upset with you, but they'd have a lot more respect for you. Come on now. Jerry Covidway, can we be consistent? If you don't like it, peace the fuck out. That's it. Just get out of the way of the people who do enjoy it. And stay out of little boys' pants, like Just Some Guy said. I'm going to keep referencing the man because he covered it the best. Who are you to tell them? Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comment section below. Hit subscribe, the whole Susan Witwicky checklist, and I'll be back with something else pretty soon. Until then, you guys stay safe. It's real in these streets. And take it easy.